Cody Reed, and this is Kelly Lopez, and we're the founders of Z Outdoors. We're here today to bring you guys something we like to do during the summer that you can do with your family or your friends or whoever. It's a good time to do it in the summer. Beat the heat. You don't got to be outside during the day in the baking sun. You can go at night, catch yourself some frogs, and have some good eating while you're doing it.
You know, another thing is it's relatively inexpensive. You don't even have to have a canoe. We use our canoe, but there's a lot of people that they just walk on the banks and they use long pieces of conduit or a stick or even a fishing rod with a piece of red rag tied to it.
Yeah, like this.
Right here's kind of our setup.
This gig I bought today was $3.99, I think, at the local bait store. It's just 3 prongs with barbs on them. I have my camera attached to this to hopefully get some action shots. And all we did was use some self-tapping screws and just kind of screwed it onto a piece of conduit. The conduit I'm using is 10 foot long. You can use whatever length you feel comfortable with. They even make extendable poles that you can use. So that way you don't have to use a canoe. You can get it way in the canals or way inside of the ponds or whatever you're frogging.
One thing you really need though is you just gotta have yourself a good little flashlight.
Or even a headlamp.
Headlamps work great. The reason you want this is because when you're out there, these little guys, you know, so they kind of get tucked up way in a bush, and all you really see is the top of their head and their eyes. So that flashlight, it just reflects off their eyes, and that's how you locate them. Once you do that, you can get real close. I mean, within inches with your gig or your fishing rod with a treble hook on it to snag it, and whatever you have to catch it, and you just put it right there in front of them and just hammer them.
And if you're using a gig, the best thing to do is try to keep it above the legs. If you're going to eat the legs, that's pretty much all the meat you have. From here down, that's all you're going to be eating. All this is just kind of thrown away. So the best thing to do is try to hit them in the head. That way they don't squirm around as much. And that way you don't got to put them out yourself.
And we'll be honest, we're not pros. You can see right here, this is probably what we were out there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
We brought home 9. We probably missed just as many as we brought home. Some of these guys we probably should have left, you know, a little small, but, you know, take what you can get sometimes. It's kind of a slow night. Each year we do this every summer, and at the end of the summer we have just a good little frog cookout before all of us will go back to school or work or wherever we head. Like Cody was saying earlier, it's a good family outing, friend outing. It's relatively cheap. It's fun. It's just something enjoyable to do on the off time when we're not out in the woods or on the lake. You know, a lot of people can do it in their backyard, where they have a farm pond, you have drainage ditches, any type of body of water. You can go out there and you know, find frogs in almost any state in the U.S.
And you will hear them, believe us. They sound just like a cow, hence the name bullfrog. They sound like a cow out there in the water just making a racket. And so if you can hear them during the night, you can probably go out at nighttime and find them with a headlamp or a flashlight.
And another way to do it, this is the way I started off, and this is the way my dad showed me when I was a little kid, is you just get a fishing rod and you locate where they're at, and usually, like, if you're at a pond, you have somebody stand on the other side of the pond and they have the flashlight on them. So they shine the flashlight on their eyes, and you just have like a piece of red rag on a treble hook, and you just dangle it right in front of their mouth. And they think it's a bug, and they just jump after it, and you just snag them right there. We've found it more efficient to go out with the frog gigs and actually gig them. Sometimes with the fishing rod, you know, they jump at it and they miss, and there's really nothing you can do about it. With the gig, it's kind of your own. You know, you're out there doing it. It's you're the one that's either hitting or missing on them. That's why we prefer doing the frog gigging. Here in a little bit, we're going to go ahead and cut one of these guys up, and we're going to have a little how-to on how to clean out and skin out a frog and prep them for your freezer or for the pan, whichever one you prefer. If you want to put them in the freezer and, you know, stock up kind of like what we do until we get a bunch enough to cook, or you can go ahead and, you know, just flop them on the pan right out of the lake or pond or ditch or wherever you're at.
So enjoy the footage. We'll get some of these guys cleaned up, and we'll come back and show you how to do it, and then show you how to cook them as well.
Yeah,
Okay, so here we are. We got our frogs ready. We got our cleaning tools ready. What we're going to do now is we're just going to prep these guys for the pan or for the freezer. One of the old-fashioned ways to do it is you just got yourself a knife and you just get in here and you just cut these back legs off. You're going to have to cut through the spine and it's a lot more work. What we like to use is just a regular pair of shears. You just get in here, you kind of just bend them forward and see where the legs meet the spine, and you want to just cut right above that. So with these shears, you just stick it in there and just keep squeezing, and eventually it just snaps. So after it cuts through the bone, you just reopen it back up, hold your frog. If you have a partner, just have them hold it. You see where the bones are sticking out, and you just fall it right down. That's the easy way to get it done. Since we're kind of, it's getting late, and we really want to show you the easiest, process possible. We don't want you guys to go out there and struggle doing this. We want you guys to do it just the easiest, fastest way. That way you can enjoy what you kill and what you catch. So that way you can put it on your table and your family can enjoy it. So what Cody's going to do here is he's going to show you how to skin these old legs out. He kind of has a little special process, a little different than what I do. He uses these fishing pliers.
So usually you have a little bit of skin left over. You can kind of see in there a little ways. So what I like to do is I just try to get my thumb in there as much as I can and kind of loosen it up a little bit more. And then what I'll do is I'll grab it with a pair of pliers, grab the skin, and I'll kind of try to hold it as best I can, and then just start pulling it off, kind of like a sock. And sometimes they don't want to cooperate with you, so you might have to start one leg at a time.
See, and this is Cody. Cody always has these new and improved crazy methods that I can never figure out or master. I usually just do it the old-fashioned way. Most of the time he'll still beat me in the way he gets it done, but I can never master that skill.
And if you can't get the pliers to work, just stick your thumb down as far as you can. And like I said, it's just like taking off a pair of pants. They're kind of like those new skinny jeans they come out with these days. So after you get it past the knee, then it's easy. Then you just kind of go under here like this. You can kind of get your finger through there, hold it at the knee, and it just slides right off. Just like that. And then you get to work on the other side. Definitely is a process, but after you do it a few times, you get the hang of it. I'm just so rusty because I haven't done this in a whole year, regardless of what Kelly says about my tools. And that is basically all there is to it. Now you just kind of go inside, you rinse these off. As you can see, they're a little bit dirty. But after you rinse them off, then you just throw them in the brine if you want to, or you can just put them in a bag and put them in the freezer.
Ziploc bag like we're going to do. Put them in the freezer.
So
Got you them pair of skinny jeans.
So we'll be back tomorrow to show you guys how to cook these up. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so here we are finishing up our segment with our frog legs. Just gonna go over the ingredients we got here. We got some flour, got some eggs, some lemon pepper, some Lowry's seasoned salt, some garlic salt, some barbecue rub, some cayenne pepper. We're gonna need the oil, fry them in. And of course, since we're Z Outdoors, we're gonna put some Mexico red chili in there. So first off, what you need to do, get over here and you just get your flour. You use this as a batter. Flour. It doesn't really matter how much you put in there. I kind of usually just put too much most of the time anyway, but the flour is relatively cheap. And I'm not one of those guys who measures everything that I put in my batter. Start out with my seasoned salt. Just however much you want. Do you think, it looks like a good amount. Next I go to my lemon pepper. Probably about a quarter to half the amount. Just kind of eyeball it. Barbecue rub, just for some taste, 4 or 5 pinches. Garlic salt, if you never have enough garlic salt. Cayenne pepper, since we're doing frog legs, I want to make it a little bit Cajun, but not too much. And then we go with our good old New Mexico powder red chili. Kind of our signature here, make everything in Mexico as we can. So after you get your batter all, put together, you're just make good. Get a fork, mix it all up. It's kind of a messy cook. What I usually do is I'll lick my finger in the flour, give it a little taste. It's not bad. Next, you get your eggs. You need just a couple eggs. Crack them. Ooh, check it out. Double yolker. That's what I'm talking about. You just get in there, whisk them all up. Of course, I don't have a whisk. A little plastic fork will do. Double yolker. I'm hard to whisk up. Okay, so now you're ready to put them in the grease. So what you do here is you get your frog legs. You rinse them off right here and everything. You get them. First, you're going to throw it inside your egg batter. Then you're going to go to your flour batter. Make sure you get the flour all up in them, guys. From there, you take it straight to your grease. Okay, and like I was saying earlier, you let that grease heat up and just go straight from your flour batter into the grease. So after you get them a little brown, just go ahead and get in here and flip them for the second part of cooking. If we had a deeper, pan, or if we had one of them big deep fryers, we could just go ahead and put the whole thing in there at once. But since we're using a little pan here, we kind of got to cook both sides. So like I was saying, you let them get to this golden brown color, and that's when they're about done. We're going to let them kind of sit here for another, minute or so and make sure. And after that, we're just going to put them on that paper plate there, let some of the grease soak out, and then we're going to enjoy some good old frog legs.